The year was 2024, and oh golly, a certain YouTuber by the name of 2's has stepped into some hot water due to some very interesting screenshots coming out between him and one of his viewers who has already told him that they are 16. Fast forward to 2026 and it seems that he has launched another channel by the name of Thumper, and now he claims that this happened 5 years ago and that he was actually underage at the time of the incident happening. You see, today I am here to disprove Thumper's lies about the whole situation, and I am going to prove that not only was he an adult at the time, but he already knew that the person was 16 before he sent them sexually explicit content in video form. But before we begin, I want everyone watching this video to understand that this is a bipartisan issue. This isn't about our opinions on the game. I know I haven't been the kindest to the people that enjoy the game as it is now, and to that I would like to extend them an olive branch and do them a solid by letting everyone know that even though this guy might parrot some of the points people that enjoy the game might have, this guy has just been destroying their reputation by engaging in bad faith arguments, by taking other content creators out of context with AI and only using the clips that make said content creators look bad, and of course in the old fashion for Thumper, not even linking the original video because someone might actually watch the whole thing and realize that Thumper has been lying to them and they have been taking people out of context. So Thumper does not represent any of the people that enjoy the game at this moment. He's just using their opinions to his benefit. Now this whole thing has begun again because someone by the name of Fluffy Ninja has found Thumper's old prospects through my old video and has had a less than gentlemanly reaction to it.
Thumper, if you would, walk into traffic, feet first into the wood chipper, save us all some fucking time.
Now I would like to say that I denounce this statement because I think it only served to muddy the waters in this case. I do think he could have reacted more smartly given the situation. I would like to make it very clear that this was not me making those comments, and nor do I condone those comments at Thumper's expense. My mission here is to intervene because Thumper has begun lying about how this happened 5 years ago and that he was a minor at the time. Now all this would have been alleged if we didn't have the man himself admitting to the whole thing.
That it was my fault to send a pornographic video. That was on me.
The first lie we have to dispute is that it happened 5 years ago. The screenshots clearly show that it happened in 2024 and the current year as of the making of this video is 2026. Is this a don't believe you're lying eyes situation? Do you understand that everyone can just use their eyes to see that this happened in 2024? Right, Thumper? Not only that, but his next lie was that he didn't even know the person was 16 at the time, but by using the dates of these Discord messages you can tell that Thumper, or as he was called, 2's, already knew this since the person already told them on May 19th. And in 2's Thumper's Blitz words, damn bro's ripe for the picking. Yet somehow Thumper still kept talking to them all the way till June 7th, when they sent them a sexually explicit video with an Astolfo cosplayer showing their humper. And one more lie Thumper has spun is that he was under the age of 18 at the time, but you see Thumper, you underestimate the power of the truth enforcers. Yes, I have been working with the truth enforcers from the community, who pointed me out to one of your videos titled Showing All My Real Guns that you made on the 2's Blitz channel on June 11th, 2026, where you said, and I quote, "In the state that I live in, Arizona, you are legally allowed to have a concealed carry weapon."
In the state that I live in, Arizona, you are legally allowed to have a concealed carry weapon.
And then you continue by saying I am certified with the state that I live in with a CCW.
I am certified with the state that I live in with a CCW, which is a concealed carry license. I love using this weapon. It is incredibly fun to use, and it's probably one of my favorite to shoot overall. This is actually the first weapon I ever bought.
This is where our dear friends at the Truth Enforcers told me that to have a concealed carry permit, you need to be at least 21 or 18 with active military service, reserves, or honorable discharge. In the same video, you say that this was the first weapon you ever bought, but that couldn't be it, guys, because to buy handguns and ammo from licensed dealers, the age requirement is 21. So in this video, the fact that you say you have a CCW and that you already bought a handgun that you say you like to shoot, it means that you are most likely already the age of 21, since handguns and handgun ammunition is not to be sold to any person under the age of 21. And by doing the math, even in the most favorable position I could put you in, where you had turned 21 the day you had made the video and somehow gotten a gun and permit the exact same day, you would still have been the adult in that situation. You would would have been 18 years, 11 months, and 27 days old. But even with that, you couldn't possibly have been a minor, even if we don't count the time it takes to get a CCW. Even with the most favorable timeline, it becomes clear that you were still the adult in that situation, yet you still chose to keep engaging with that person that clearly told you their age. So in this situation, you either lied about the guns and the CCW, which would make you a poser and a liar, or you own those guns and you have a CCW, which makes you the age of 21, and since the incident happened 2 years ago, that means you were the adult in that situation. But I'm gonna let my partner for this video to take it over from here. Gotcha! Now some of you may know me as Evil Greg, but today I'm Snake Catcher Greg, and by God we have one of those rare turbo virgin snakes that you can only find in the deep jungles of YouTube, and well, our turbo virgin snake has proven multiple times to be what some would call an unreliable narrator, where he picks and chooses what parts of a topic will give him the most advantage or make him look good. For example, when he first got caught, Thumper, known at the time as 2's Blitz, tried to push the blame on the victim, aka the person that told him they were 16.
You know, he's acting like he's this innocent child that just randomly got sent porn or something. But that's not the case. He had sent me probably close to 15 images of gay black porn.
Saying someone sent you corn first doesn't entitle you to send them corn back. I'm just saying, if I were to get sent corn, I would just block them, since it's clear anyone that thinks corn is a good conversation starter doesn't have the maturity required to understand that it's weird. But let's keep going with the unreliable narrator part. Recently, our turbo virgin snake has used AI to react to another YouTuber's video, not only to cherry pick whatever parts they wanted to play.
However, after giving a comparison against the two rifles, I gotta say the Hyena fails to do what a status rifle is supposed to rely on, and that is its status build-up and the damage over time damage output.
That fire damage is incredibly important because it allows you to kill enemies without wasting ammo and shooting more shots. So I completely disagree on the fact that A, it's not a status effect weapon. It's because you're comparing it on large enemies. Obviously in Alpha Commander, the 100 fire damage isn't going to make much of a difference. But when we're taking a look at smaller enemies, there you go, we can see another example here. We have a hunter right in front of me. I'm going to shoot this hunter once, it's not going to hit it in the head, it's going to get lit on fire, and now it dies to the fire damage. That hunter as well, to the left. Most of these hunters, I'm not actually hitting in the head and killing. The fire damage is doing the work. So making the argument that, oh, the fire damage doesn't actually do something isn't true.
First of all, Vero never said that it's not doing fire damage or that it's not a status effect weapon. He said that it fails to do what a status weapon should rely on, which is status effects. While Thumper's case was made around the weapon being used to take out smaller enemies out in one shot due to the fire damage, he intentionally misrepresents his opposition, in this case just like he proceeds to do in this one at this point.
You have to think for a moment what you're trading off for. You're trading off less ammo.
Not true, because if you're running the short mag, you're actually getting more ammo, and you're only going to have around 10 less bullets versus the Diligence counter sniper.
Ergo?
That's also not true, as we've shown. You actually have more ergonomics if you are running the same loadout as the Diligence counter sniper.
A low rate of fire, and even less attachments compared to the counter sniper Diligence.
That's also not true.
As per the last clip, you can clearly tell that he has intentionally misrepresented what Vero claims, because if you were to go to the wiki, you would see that the Hyena has one less attachment than the Diligence. Not only that, but you have to skim the weapon down of all the fun things to gain some ergonomics. Now, not only is he an unreliable narrator, but he also loves to do something I call feigning ignorance, where he pretends to not understand someone's argument, and due to his lack of understanding of that argument or intention to not look into it, he somehow wins, because if the great Thumper the Humper can't understand it, then it must mean that your argument is bad and he has to win by default. Now, a great example of this is where he reacts to Buzz's video on the slow death of Helldivers 2, and as you're gonna see, he does not play the video on his end, so people can't get more context on it. Not only does he claim that Buzz talks about something he knows nothing about, by the way, Thumper always does this, everyone knows nothing apparently to this guy, but after he says that, he gets an AI to summarize the video for him. Or, as I call it, letting the AI do his homework. God, I hope this guy doesn't become a doctor. Imagine having to see that face while he searches for AI pointers on how to do a heart transplant. Jesus.
Helldivers, welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Thumper, and you know what? I'm tired of sitting back and letting other creators, especially large creators, crap on Helldivers 2 when they don't even know what they're talking about. Today, I'm going to be replying to a video from Buzz Lightyear titled The Slow and Sad Death of Helldivers 2. He breaks into the fact that, the game has lost approximately 90% of its peak player base since September 2025, and that there's frustration regarding the slow pace of fixes for mechanics like hellpod steering and stratagem deployment, whatever. He breaks into the fact that the game basically does not have nearly as many players as originally does, and because of the slow and stagnant state the game's in, people are quitting the game.
If only you had played the clip before, you could have understood that Buzz was referring to the loss of the Xbox players and how that injection of players went down the drain. For example, the 50k players that you keep talking about were there before the box divers came, and now we're back to square one with the numbers we had before the Xbox divers came along. So Arrowhead retained little to nothing from those players.
Right now, as I'm sitting down and recording this video, there's 48,500 divers logged on worldwide, with 35,000 of those being PC divers. Now, back when we got Xbox joining the game, there was that whole ODST war bond, and alongside it, the Into the Untested update dropped. And that's when we got that famous quote from Sham Jorjani asking us to stop shitting our pants because the total player counts had topped over 500,000 players, including both consoles and PC. So, in 10 months' time, the game has shed 90% of its players that were diving back on September the 2nd, 2025. And I've got to tell you, Xbox players still haven't returned. They got into the game, they saw what was happening, and they just perma-checked out. And even now, you know how you can see them when you go to your friends list in game, but they're just like grayed out because they're all off playing something else.
So instead of actually playing parts of the video, you would rather make this fake straw Buzz that you could claim victory over. So not only did you say that he talks about stuff he knows nothing about, but you also take him out of context. But my question here is, why would you need to take Buzz out of context if he knows nothing he talks about? Could it be because you are trying to paint a fake narrative that all these other YouTubers are not to be trusted?
But trying to act like the game is dying to fearmonger is just not true. It hasn't been true for a while. I don't know why we come to these conclusions and why we try to do this. But I mean, Buzz, all you do is post negative videos. You even jumped over to GTA. Rockstar responds to the GTA backlash. Like, I don't think there's a single video on your channel where you actually post something positive.
First of all, this was the last video I would consider positive from Buzz. Second of all, isn't it weird that the people with the most skeletons in their closet are the ones obsessed with positivity? But then again, you gotta admire Thumper for his positivity. Look at how positive he's here. Bro is ripe for the picking, I gotta say. Or actually, I won't say it, I'll let you say it, Thumper.
That it was my fault to send a pornographic video. That was on me.
This guy is so positive that he couldn't even find the positive video. It's almost like he went over it intentionally. And of course, lastly, copying thumbnails one-to-one without shame. As you see here in the examples, you can tell Thumper has been taking thumbnails from other content creators and only changing them slightly. Now, seeing this, a normal person would be thinking that you're trying to character assassinate people like Buzz by misinterpreting their video points and then trying to take their thumbnails to replace them. I mean, the guy that said bro is ripe for the picking to a 16-year-old wouldn't do that, right guys? Now, you see, if I were a content creator, I wouldn't touch this guy with a 15-foot pole, not just because he's a clear snake with turbo virgin snake behavior, but he's clearly gonna backstab any content creator whenever he has no longer any use for them. And now begins the fun part of the video, where I'm sure Thumper is thinking of pulling out the I'm gonna sue you card. And to that I would like to say, bring it on, you skinny-armed turbo virgin, I would love to see you in court, explaining to the judge, but your honor, the child has sent me corn first. It would have been completely and utterly rude of me to ignore them. You see, there's people that say, why don't you take him to court yourself? Well, to that I say, I live in Romania and I'm poor, but I'm sure Thumper would love to go for the lawsuit to clear his name, especially since he admitted to it on camera.
That it was my fault to send a pornographic video. That was on me.
I mean, if Thumper did nothing wrong as he claims, and in his words we're missing context, I would love for him to show us the context that makes him innocent of these screenshots and his own admittance in a video that you can't find anymore. And speaking of that, if we do go to court, Thumper, I would like to inform you that deleting videos or any important stuff would be destruction of evidence, and I can assure you that's a big no-no, and even if you delete something important, don't worry, I'm willing to provide the evidence. Oh god, I love this situation, because you have nobody to blame but yourself, even though you will try to blame other people, and by god will you try to blame other people like the turbo virgin you are. And the best part of this whole situation, I already gave you a way out a long time ago. All you had to do was sit in your corner, make your slop videos about how this weapon is the best, just like the last 25 weapons, but you didn't do that, so I guess I gotta pull a Hassan Piker on you now. Thumper! But do not worry, Thumper, I am not unreasonable. If you don't know how to behave, just wait until I drop my content creator guide, because it's clear a small content creator such as yourself needs my guidance. So just wait for the guides to come out. First lesson is gonna be how to interact with your community, I guess. By the way, if we do actually go to court, and when I win, because let's be real, I am going to win,
That it was my fault to send a pornographic video. That was on me.
when that happens, and let's be real, if you even have the guts to do it, I am going to kindly ask the judge to have all your channels deleted. I'm sure that's gonna make you very happy, because let's be real, this guy that appears in all of your videos is the only reason you've been getting into trouble. So, I think you would be much happier and live a more fulfilling life if you had to go to work like everybody else. So now here comes the question, what is your opinion on Thumper the Humper or Droodle's Diddy Blitz? Whatever our local corn sender enjoys as a nickname, I guess. Now, I won't judge any of the people that go to his channel only so they can get super credits for free. Okay, who am I kidding? I am judging you guys, but hey, what can you do? If you can't entertain an audience, I guess you gotta pay them. But hey, for all the people that do want the video to be shown to the whole world, give it a like, a comment, and hype it up so we can get the Turbo Virgin to get all red in the face because he can't lie out of this one anymore. And with that said, I wanna thank the channel members and you for watching. Jordan Ingram, Smacker's Temple, Cactus Man, 501st Admiral Fez, Major Glazon, Titan, Doomclash, Kronk, Hootsnag, Mr. Based Wolf, Call of Mods, Mark!